Hi everyone, I'm going to chat to you today about a lovely etching by Elisabeth Lawrence, and it's called And Now We Are Ready to Come Home. And Elisabeth is a really intriguing artist. She was born in 1964 and she's done a range of studies over the years in fine arts, architecture, drafting and also education. And I have sold a number of her lovely original oils in the past, but she also does a beautiful range of etchings, and she's won quite a lot of prizes. She's very clever at doing etchings. And this one is pretty typical of her beautiful tone and detail that she achieves in most of her etchings. And you can see all this amazing detail here, all hand etched and carved into the aquatint plate. It's beautifully done. And this beautiful little boat here, which is actually part of the etching, but she's hand painted the red parts in the boat. So every etching that she does has its own individual little quirk of individuality. And what the etching is about, And Now We Are Ready to Come Home, is about that time in people's life when their kids are ready to leave home. So they sail off. But also when they come back home, to see parents, it's a time of great joy. And the boat in the painting is like a metaphor for the passage of life. So hopefully when they're sailing off into their adult life, they've got enough wisdom and that the boat will sail calmly through calm water. And you'll see this little boat in some of Elisabeth's other etchings and also in her beautiful oils. It sort of carries all sorts of things, like it'll carry a story, the boat will carry a dream. Often the animals, the patterns in their feathers and often represent organic matter. It's very interesting how Elisabeth comes to do all of this in her etchings. She's quite a deep thinker. There's always a double layer of meaning in everything that she does, which is kind of interesting because etching itself, the medium, is about building beautiful layers of tone. And I like the precision and the contrast in Elisabeth's etchings, the difference between black and white, that's what we mean by contrast. And tone is like the subtleties of one colour, and in etching, the tone generally occurs with grey, and that's all achieved with how the etching is made initially. And this line around an etching, that's called a plate line, because how an etching or an aquatint is made, they're actually made on sheets of zinc or copper. In this particular case, it's been made on copper. And all the lines and dots have to be incised into the plate, and then acid is used to then etch out all the various depths in the plate, and then it's inked, and so the ink will settle in the little reservoirs that have been eaten out by the acid. So it's a very complicated process to make an etching. And I don't want people to be put off by the fact that there's more than one in an edition. Obviously, if you're going to spend weeks and weeks etching a plate and then printing one, you're not going to just produce one, because they really are an art form. It's a lost art form for a lot of artists these days, and they're incredibly complex to do, and you have to have an amazing amount of patience, because you're never really actually sure how it's going to turn out until you actually ink the plate. So I love her etchings. They're really strong, very beautiful works. If you want to find out more about this particular etching, you can see it on my website, which is tiffanyjonesfineart.com.au. Thanks for listening. I hope you got some sort of insight into etching and into Elisabeth Lawrence and the great way that her mind ticks. Bye for now.